It's time to rank the episodes of BoJack Horseman Season 5, so let's start with number 12. Ancient History ends up at the bottom of my list. The episode itself is quite depressing as BoJack spends the entire time with Hollyhock to get more pills he claims he needs. The rest of the episode is not that memorable, with Princess Carolyn talking with Ralph again for a movie deal and Todd trying to create the perfect boyfriend for Emily. This isn't a bad episode, but the other episodes are just better and more rewatchable in my opinion. The first episode of the season is a great way to get familiar with the new setup. Gina and Flip are great new additions. In this episode, BoJack gets into an argument with Flip as he finds the show Filbert dumb and isn't willing to shoot a nudity scene. This tension makes for a very engaging episode that hints at better things to come in the season. When Todd visits Yolanda's family, they have to act like they aren't asexual, which results in so many hilarious moments in this episode, which makes it quite rewatchable, and it's easily the most lighthearted episode of the season. In episode 5, we finally get to see flashbacks of Princess Carolyn's past when she travels to her old hometown to adopt a baby. Sadly, she didn't have a great youth, as she had to take care of both her mother and herself. This makes for a very interesting episode the first time around, but it is not as funny or rewatchable as other episodes higher on this list. Episode 7 is one of the most unique episodes of the show, as all characters are differently portrayed, as we get to learn the story from two therapists' perspectives and they are unable to reveal the true identity of their clients. But aside from this unique premise, the events in this episode are nothing too special, which is why it ends up at the number 8 spot. In the dog days are over, Diane travels to Vietnam to find herself after finalizing the divorce with Mr. Peanutbutter. This episode revolves entirely around her and thus we get to learn Diane better. The first time I watched this episode I didn't like it all that much, but after having seen it again for this ranking, I've gone to appreciate this episode a lot more. The final episode of the show deals with the aftermath of the penultimate episode. Compared to other season finals in the show, this one is less engaging. However, the ending is one of the best, as BoJack decides to go to rehab thanks to the help of Diane, which ends with Diane driving away as the sun sets while under the pressure by the war on drugs place, making for one of the most memorable season finals of the show, which still gives me goosebumps even after having watched it multiple times. Head in the Clouds takes place at the premiere party of Filbert, at which Diane confronts BoJack with the secrets he has been hiding from her, where Gina gets to shine as a star from Filbert and Princess Carolyn has to resolve an issue caused by Flip using a joke. This episode might not be that memorable, but it sure makes for an engaging episode that sets things up for the penultimate episode. The newly introduced Vance Wagner is a total scumbag, and when Vance and BoJack get into an argument, this results in some hilarious moments that spiral out of control. Both men claim to be feminist, while it's very obvious that neither of them is one. The B-plot is also really funny as Mr. Peanutbutter tries to go for a bad boy image, and while he tries his hardest to be mean, people just like him too much, which never ceases to make me laugh. Thus, this is without a doubt one of the funniest episodes of not just this season, but the entire show. I always have a soft spot for episodes or movies that revolve around drug-filled trips, where both the character as well as the audience are unsure what is real and what is not. This makes the episode itself very engaging, as it is clear that BoJack is not thinking clearly and things seem to be escalating very quickly. The disturbing ending when BoJack strangles Gina on the set of Filbert leaves a lasting impression that shows the negative impacts BoJack can have on other people's lives without even realizing it. While BoJack the Feminist was already funny, Mr. Peanutbutter's boost is even better. This episode has an interesting premise where we follow Mr. Peanutbutter as he takes his girlfriends to BoJack's Halloween party, which cuts back to his time with Katrina all the way up to the present with Pickles. These plot points are stitched together so well, with lots of things happening in the background for the observant viewer, making for a highly rewatchable episode as you are bound to find new things upon viewing it another time. And as Mr. Peanutbutter is my favorite character from the show, an episode like this one, where he is at the center stage, is bound to be enjoyable, which is why it ends up at the number 2 spot. And while I like that episode a lot, there was no doubt in my mind that Free Churro would claim the number 1 spot. It is easily the best episode of season 5 and is also one of the most unique episodes of the show, as it is almost entirely made up of BoJack monologuing at his mother's eulogy. This episode holds a special place in my heart, as it is my go-to episode to watch whenever I'm bummed or stressed out. It is just so relaxing to hear BoJack tell stories about his mother and father, even when some of them are fabricated. The fact that I am engaged throughout the entire episode, even when Will Arnett is the only one talking in this episode, is a testament to how well written this episode is. So that was my ranking of the episodes of the 5th season of BoJack Horseman. Let me know if you agree with my ranking, and if not, how would you rank these episodes? Thank you for watching, bye bye.